Hi, this is Milan from Battle in the Bay Classic. We just wrapped up the tournament. I'm here with the directors of the tournament, Pablo, Pires, Almeida, Peter Bartlett, Steve Jackson, and Dizon. Thank you for taking some of the time.
Thank you.
First question, so what is your first impression right after the end of the tournament?
Well, tournament finished really well with a great final. I think everybody would agree on that. The energy was exactly what we wanted from a college feel in that last match especially. And everybody did a great job creating that atmosphere. And yeah, it was great. It was just all around. We had some rain. Didn't turn into the mess that we thought it would. So these guys just pulled it together and did a great job putting on everything that took place. So it was great. Anything else?
No, I think just from our end, having USF and USC in the finals was, extra special. I thought that the finals was two very talented players in Tai Tu and Ray Sarmiento from USC, and so it was a really fun final to watch. And I think, in a sense, everybody got what they wanted as far as, a really nice event. So, very pleased.
I would only like to add that the shot making in the final was particularly, exceptional in terms of the variety of shots that each player had in terms of controlling the spin and the elevations on the court, and having such a great venue to be able to watch different angles, and you as a spectator could move from upstairs to downstairs and get a different feel in each place that you were able to watch the match, to appreciate how well these young men can work the tennis ball and control it and still be able to play with power. I thought that was part of what I thought was an exceptional match, both as a player and as a spectator.
Yeah, I thought the atmosphere today, Sunday, was great. The rain cleared up in time. There was no delay. We had two great guys in Tide 2, USF's #1, and Raymond Sarmiento, a talented freshman from USC. It was great to have something on the line. Having a wild card into a men's professional event was definitely a great idea that Pablo and Steve and Peter brought together to talk to with tournament director Scott Pottis at the Tiburon Peninsula Club. So I think that was a big thing as well. Having something like that at stake in a final for a college kid, I think, is a really good thing towards possibly a next step towards testing the pro grounds. So I thought that was really great.
Thanks for all the answers. And my second question would be, what did you take from last year, your first year of doing the tournament, into this year and help getting an even better event?
Last year we had only the Bay Area teams involved, and it created a great event. The tennis was great. Everybody got a really great college feel. We had a qualifying. We had a little bit bigger draw. This year, we wanted to bring a higher level of tennis players. We shortened the draw just to a main draw of 16. So every school pretty much brought 2 players. And we opened it up to the best teams in all of California. So we wanted to create a Maze Cup feel, which is a Northern California junior tournament and Southern California junior tournament where the best players from Southern Cal and Northern Cal face off before the summer tournaments. So we wanted to get the best teams from Southern California and Northern California to face off here. And we really did. We got USC, the #1 team in the nation for the last 2 years, with their head coach. Peter Smith did a great job of bringing in some really talented players. And Pepperdine did a great job. So, we really had a great feel from all of California, and you could really see a lot of the contrast in all the teams. All the teams carried themselves differently. There was different confidence from the players that you could see. You could see different coaching techniques used, different styles of play. So all of that really added to this year with the new format that we created. I'll pass it.
Yeah, just adding to that, again, I think that we have upped it a little bit. And what Sean mentioned with the wild card, I think that put an extra emphasis on attempting to bring stronger players. And obviously from the side of USF men's tennis, it allows us to showcase our players and our program and really in front of some of the best players in the country in USC and Pepperdine specifically. I also think that it allows those coaches in Southern California to talk and kind of express what a great tournament that it was. I think specifically in Peter Smith's case, he was very impressed with the tournament, the way it was run, and the venue. And I think that will be discussion for years to come as to how we approach getting even a stronger draw to follow up, whether it be going to a more national scale outside of California or getting more of the programs in Southern Cal and everybody really on board for it. So it was a really good starting point and a good decision, I think, to kind of open things up, but at the same time including the Bay Area schools a little bit as well. So really a nice feel for the second year.
I don't have a lot to add to that, with the exception of I think that the biggest difference that I saw this year's tournament in compared to last is the head coaches, for example, from USC was here and from University of California, Berkeley came this year, where last year they didn't come. They sent their assistants. Actually, USC, this is their first year, but Cal's assistant came, and the head coach came today. So the reputation of the tournament is growing. The level of play is getting better, and I think from this point forward, it's going to allow us a little more marketability, not only from a sponsorship standpoint, but also from a player standpoint. So I was excited about that, and I really feel like this tournament's going to grow and become the next collegiate tournament throughout the country that you want to participate in, and it's great to have that here at this club. California Tennis Club's a great venue, and to have the USF's Dons here, it's their home facility. It's just a special place, and we get a really good college feel because you guys get to bring the crowd into it and the support from the Spirit Squad, which is unlike any other club tournament / college event that I've ever been to. So,
yeah, I think the second year, the first year going into it, Pablo and Peter came up with the idea, and everybody wasn't quite sure, is this going to work, and last year we put it together and with the help of Steve and all the sponsors, and they proved it could be done the first year. And looking this year, Pablo's idea of opening it up to having the Southern California teams, I think, was a big thing. Having the defending champions 2 years in a row, USC, represent here in the tournament definitely adds some value to this tournament. So I think, like Steve said, marketing this tournament is a great thing to have down the road, making it bigger. Hopefully we can get a few more other schools from California in this as well. But everyone kind of sees that what it takes, and definitely going forward, I think we're going to definitely try to keep pushing the bar. So, yeah.
You were talking about sponsorship and the attendance, the public, and everything. The first year, you're not really sure what is going to happen, but going into your second year, opening up to Southern California teams and everything, did you have any expectations compared to last year, or as far as numbers with sponsors, the attendance, and everything like that?
That's a good question. Our event is free, so because we're not selling tickets, we don't really know how many people are going to show up because we don't have a really, a way of organizing that when the event's free. We just expect everybody to come. This year, with the bigger schools involved from Southern California, we felt like we'd draw more attendance, and I think we did. I think this year, I think that the attendance was more consistent, I would put it that way, on a daily basis. San Francisco weather-wise, you never know what you're going to get, but I do feel like Friday through today, we had very good attendance. We had very good support. We had, of course, our team. We had a lot of support from the University of San Francisco with the Spirit Squad. The sponsors all did a great job this year of getting involved, a lot more than last year, because they heard about the event and how great the event was. And also the club really did a great job this year. The California Tennis Club really supported the event And they just really supported the event from a housing the players perspective, and then also from coming out, supporting the matches, helping with ball helpers on the court, coming to the dinner, and it really, from a total perspective of support, the club was there in full force, and it really went a lot easier because of that.
No, just again adding to that, it really comes down to the second year. I think things have just been done a lot better. More people were out for this final than we had the year before. Everything really was better. The 3 events that we put on, which was the Pro-Am type event with sponsors, and we had a dinner with all the coaches, with sponsors, as well as the attendance of the event, everything was more vibrant, and that's what we expect, obviously, in the second year. And I do think that some of that is chatter, so more people know that this is really a spectacular event. And again, the support from the California Tennis Club is really what makes it go as well. I think the members at the club here also recognize that, and recognize what a special event that they have to attend. But at the same time, come see some of the best college tennis in the country. And like Pablo said, with the housing and everything, and general manager Tim Odenweiler getting behind the event, it really just couldn't happen as well for a second year without all that support. So we certainly appreciate that.
The only thing I would like to add is, last year when we went to potential sponsors and to the California Tennis Club, we were presenting a vision, an idea. We didn't have anything tangible to show them. This year, we had last year's pictures and photos and good memories from all the ball kids and the spirit and the tournament staff. So the sponsors were easier to come by. We got new sponsors, which were great this year, and I think that's how an event grows. It's easier when we can show video footage and pictures, and we have people's memories to draw upon. It's not just a vision of a small group of individuals. So I think from that standpoint, as the tournament gets better, it's going to continue to improve.
Yeah, I think it was great. The Cal Club definitely supported the event fully from the get-go, and it was great representation for the University of San Francisco, tennis and athletics in general. I saw a lot of faces that I haven't seen. I saw from the first year that haven't seen, but it was a great way for our alumni to come out and just the general casual tennis fan. There aren't too many events in Northern California professionally or collegiately, and this is just a great showcase, I think, to put together, because there are a lot of knowledgeable tennis fans in San Francisco and the Bay Area. So definitely this was something to showcase. So it was great. It was great.
I'd like to add one thing. Sean actually spearheaded more of an internet following with your help last year, and actually because of that and being on Facebook, being on YouTube, we really got a lot of people out. I heard time and time again from Friday till now. I saw the information online. I saw photos online. I'm really excited to be here because of that. I didn't know about it otherwise. So I think that, because of you guys, that was a really great addition to creating something that'll last and that'll gain more attendance. So.
Thanks. And finally, you mentioned the WOD Cart for the Challenger at Tiburon. How did you come up with that and getting that involved and for the winner, which is a great experience for a collegiate player to get into a more pro tournament? So how did that come about?
It kind of, I think, started initially, me and Steve Jackson went to Florida to coach and learn the new USTA National Training Center techniques in coaching with Jose Higueras and Patrick McEnroe, and they talked a lot about trying to combine college with pro. So basically, they want the juniors to go to college, and then from the college level, go on the professional tour. And we're seeing that a lot more on the tour now with guys coming out like John Isner. Paul Goldstein started that trend, And that's really kind of starting to become the way in which a lot of players go on the tour and become successful tennis players. So with that in mind, knocking the idea across all the directors, we luckily have a connection with the Tiburon Challenger that Steve Jackson used to run back in 2003 through 2005. And because of that connection, we were able to come up with the idea of getting a player a main draw wild card. And a main draw wild card is something that's hard to get. The USTA gets one, and the local club gets another one. But it's really given to somebody that deserves it. It's not given to somebody that doesn't deserve it. So Scott Pottis, the director last year and this year of the Tiburon RBS Challenger, was very generous in offering a wild card into the singles and doubles. And that's what he's going to be following through with. And I think all of the coaches, when they heard that, were very into the idea of coming up for the event because of that. It really added a lot of prestige to what we're creating here.
Just from my end of it, trying to take some of that information that Pablo just discussed, but my role really was to call around to the head coaches and some of their assistants that we've had association with. And ironically, USC was one of the programs that we specifically talked to that thought that adding a carrot at the end of this tournament was going to be a good idea, and that we came up with some ideas that said maybe we should add something bigger to it. And it works well with the USTA's vision of what Pablo mentioned of bridging the gap between college tennis and going to the professional ranks. But specifically, they came up and said, hey, what if you put something else on it? And I threw it by a lot of the other coaches in the area, and everybody felt like that was going to be something that they could buy into, and I think going forward we're continuing to look for things that are going to help the draw grow that way, whether it be the date, whether it be the type of format that we do, or whether it be the carrot, at the end of the tournament. So those are the things that obviously the directors kick around and try and make sure that the event for the following year, gets better and better.
I think with this tournament, the original, the first year we had a lot of underclassmen or basically freshmen and sophomore players in the draw. And I think the reason for that is the coaches were thinking this is a great tournament for the fall to kind of see where our young players fit in the lineup, kind of use it for experience gathering. And adding the wild card into the Challenger starts to add that incentive to the senior player for a team, because they realize that upon graduation, if they were able to win a match and get a professional ATP point, that when they graduate, they'll have a big head start over all the other graduates who have to start off in qualifying and will not have a world ranking right out of school. So hopefully as we build our relationship with the RBS Tiburon Challenger, we'll be able to get our reputation out there that this is an opportunity for the seniors of all these major universities.